bit late today because I had to cook for myself, but still, let's start today with daily. So starting from daily, we can clearly see that price is reacting bearish from that fairly gap, or yeah, that fairly gap, and then definitely we are bearish, and for therefore H4 is also has shifted structure, and yeah, we are definitely moving bearish right now as of structure we can see. So now if I have to put a target, I don't really see any zone other than this one. So let's mark this one. Alright, now it is looking good. Target. Yep. And then let's move into H1. We do have, to be honest, there is no area, all I can say, other than maybe this one. Soft PDA. After that, M15 is looking good. We do have this fairly gap, and then we have this one. So another thing for a reference, I would like to mark out the swing point. Here we have one, and yeah, I don't see any other. This is the only swing point we do have. Alright, so one fairly gap, couple of fairly gap in here, and I would like to see reaction from there on. As I really want to see is price moving bullish and then reacting bearish, and I would be executing from there. But that being said, overall direction is bearish, but there is no clear zone other than these areas. So yeah. Is 24th of July morning, and this was yesterday's session, and we can see the rest of the day how it turned out to be. So first of all, the range you get to see in the trade is just these two candles. Now watching it backward, these are just a pullback retest of this fairly gap, or let's say this order block, nothing more than that. But still, it was a good one. I could have executed, I could have taken 1:2, but still choose to remove my grid, and I choose to prioritize my process over my grid. And so another thing is, we get to see that the area price has reacted from is not these fairly gap. Yep, we do have one fairly gap, two fairly gap, but these fairly gap doesn't really have an order block back end of it. But we have this order block and then this fairly gap from which it actually reacted yesterday. So now let's take a look at M5 first, then we will look at M15, M1. So we can clearly see that price has been moving bearish. This is the market open push, pushed all the way toward this fairly gap, back end with this order block, and from there on we had this engulfing candle, and that is where I execute. But still, now this one gets interesting. That is why we really need to find the actual zone from which it is reacting. I mean, I could have. We can clearly see that this is the favorite gap from which it has reacted, and this is the engulfing, sorry, inverted favorite gap. Price retraced toward that level, so it would have been much better. It would be risky one, but I would get much better risk to reward, as you can see. Yep. But anyways, if I try to catch trade like this, there will be most of the trades where it will go in a losing way. So that's how it went. It was a good one, and yeah, I am right now some percent away from passing this level, and I feel like I'm going to pass this one if I don't mess it up with my discipline and my rules. So it will be an easy one, I suppose, inshallah. But still, let's see how this one turn out and whether I live up to my promise or not.